This time it says started recording. So this is good news because last time it was just a transcription. So for this working session, we will just go over what dashboard extensions are and how you can use them, kind of some of the use cases. Tableau's been using or adding a bunch of different objects that you can drop onto dashboards to make it more interactive. So they're trying to make it more like an application because before users could pretty much only consume data from the dashboards, and then they've slowly been adding more and more functionality, and that's typically through objects here. And so you have your dashboard extensions down here below the text. And they've been around a while, but they've been expanding how you can use them recently. There's some other stuff they've added into, which we won't go over in this session, but some of them are neat to look into, like Ask Data. If you cater Ask Data correctly, it can be pretty useful in terms of answering people's written questions. It's still not, a replacement for dashboards, but it is better as like a general language search and query type tool. And then they've also added in workflow here. And so workflow is a little more involved. Let me open this up real quick before we jump into the actual extensions section. If it loads. And so with workflows, it's specifically within Salesforce here. So you'd have to authorize it, but it basically allows you to run these workflows inside of HubSpot, or goodness, run these workflows inside of Salesforce based off of data in your dashboard. And so you have to log in and authorize that. We will not do that, obviously, and we'll go back to dashboard extensions. And so with dashboard extensions, these are either A, third-party extensions, or B, ones that are developed by Tableau, I believe. Yeah, built by Tableau and Salesforce here. And the interesting part about this is these extensions have also been included in new Tableau version releases. And so some of them aren't even necessary anymore. And a lot of times they're used as like a testing ground, or if you have an older version of Tableau that you're running, you can use these extensions to get the functionality that you want, since you don't have the most recent one. But there's a lot of them in here, lots of different types of ones. Some of them just make building a dashboard and its functionality easier and faster. But you can search here for all of them. You can toggle by free or sandbox, or works with Tableau public. So some of them work with cloud, and then some of them work with public, some work with both. And so you can kind of filter by that. One note is on some of the projects that you all will be working on, you will need to have it approved by an administrator on Tableau Cloud or Tableau Server before using them, just for security purposes. For us, we should have access to everything, so we can always add these in if we need. But one of the extension use cases that is pretty frequent are tables. And so Tableau is not really meant for tables. Yes, you can build tables in it, but a lot of people ask for Excel style tables anyway inside of the dashboard at some point. And so these table extensions are going to be a way better experience for both the developer and for the person consuming the dashboard. And so there's some free ones there. So I'm just going to filter by the free ones. And I would always recommend just using the ones that are downloaded the most. So for example, data tables here would be the most downloaded out of the relevant extensions. And basically you just click on them, add to dashboard, you can see where it's compatible. And then it'll walk you through, if the extension is a good one, which this one is, it'll walk you through how to configure it. So you can go configure. And basically it'll let you walk through here and just choose different options. So you choose the worksheet to start, like sales by product. You can do underlying data or summary. Underlying data for tables is usually better, because most of the time if people are asking for tables where you would need an extension, you they're going to be looking at all the detailed data. I think that personally, with summarized data, you can build better tables inside of Tableau rather than using an extension, but that's just preference. Maximum number of records, this will affect performance. And so you can limit it if you want. Just gonna click on limited here. Then you can go over here and look at the columns. So you can rename these because sometimes obviously your data source column name is not very specific or it's ugly. So you could do like month of order or something for this one. And then I don't know what this is, but you can reorder these in this extension. So all of them will have their own configuration options like this. And then you can, check all these different options here. Click save. And then that extension will load. You can see for like tables, for example, this is a pretty quick Excel style view. And then it's also way more customizable with a few clicks to change the formatting for the user consuming it. So like if you built something like this natively in Tableau, it would be a nightmare and it would take a very long time. Wouldn't be maintainable, but this is a pretty snappy, gives people exactly what they want, can search for stuff. So with extensions in general, tables are one of the most common ones that you'll probably run into in terms of looking for an extension. But there are really good ones out here. Let me see if we can find another one. Let's call. So like new viz types are really cool just because you're not going to be able to build a network analysis in Tableau, at least not that I've seen. So these tools are using, actual programming to develop things like this. So if we click on it, like you're never going to develop a node type diagram like this in Tableau. Now, caveat, a lot of these extensions with these special viz types, you'll have to have your data structured in a specific way, which is okay. It's usually worth the data engineering effort if someone's looking for an analysis like this. And it prevents people from having to go and use something outside of Tableau to do this type of analysis. So it keeps your tech stack simple. A lot of them obviously you have to pay for, which makes sense. They're hard to build. But yeah, I'll take a pause there. Any questions on extensions or things you want to search and see if we can configure? No. Cool. Some of these are kind of interesting to look at, like bar race. You might have seen on like social media, sometimes you'll have people move positions over the years. So in Tableau, you can do animations. They're okay, but it'll be easier to configure in here. And then let's see some other ones. You can see some of these like image viewer has kind of been included in new product releases where you can have like an image dynamically loaded. Let's go. Oh, do all. This is a good one. You can see you have a hierarchy filter. So right now, if we're configuring filters natively, like Bella, I know you might have multiple filters on those dashboards. You'll have a separate filter for each one. And so this one gives you a better hierarchy filter so that it's all in one box, basically. You don't have to have all these filters on the dashboard. So that's pretty much it. Like there's so many different extensions because if you can code it with the API, then you can build an extension for it. Definitely worth looking at these just to kind of get the creative juices flowing as well. In general, you'll be able to develop these with these extensions in Tableau Desktop. And then if it's approved on the cloud instance or server, then you'll be able to publish the workbook with that extension for other users to use it as well. So, okay, that's dashboard extensions. I'm gonna stop recording.